There we go, the sound of Goodison Park, 3 to go. Everton battle to, I think it really deserved 1-0 draw against Arsenal there. The players just coming over to the Gladys Street now, David Moyes. I imagine he'll be really, really pleased with the way Everton came back into that, because there was, towards the end of the first half, Arsenal looked in total control, they were coming into it. They bring on Saka, bring on Martinelli, they've got Odegaard coming on as well, and you're thinking, is this game just going to fade away from us really? But Everton got on the front foot early in that first half, got after Arsenal, got the penalty. Obviously I'm not seeing that back yet, but obvious VAR check with that. But yeah, Everton deserved it, and Corey has a shot. We have a couple of little moments here and there, and Arsenal have a couple of chances as well. But Everton well deserving of a point there. And I think after Wednesday as well, you know, looking at Arsenal team there who are bringing on such quality. They had a day extra rest. We played a Merseyside derby, so it would have been nice to beat them, and I think they were beatable. But ultimately, a point's a decent result. Still the Arsenal players, one thing I'll say about them, I'm sure we'll get stuck into this a bit later on, but in terms of a team that are going for the title and second in the league, they are so bad, so embarrassing the way they conduct themselves and slow the game down, and just for the team that have got such quality, and just they were terrible to watch. I just don't get so much about the way they go about it. But not our problem. The referee was crap throughout the game, as tends to be the case. But yeah, a good point for the Blues in the end. I'll be back outside, I imagine, outside the nice sunny Denbigh Castle to go through that in a bit more detail. But yeah, hopefully, I imagine everyone will be in great spirits there. Yeah, we are back outside the Denbigh Castle now. Yeah, just a very interesting chap just walked past us there. Obviously on his way to Aintree potentially. What a way to start. I've got Les, Keith and Ed outside the Denbigh Castle. The sun is shining here in Liverpool city centre, and I think we're all relatively pleased, Les. Are you after that? Yeah,
up the Everton. Yeah, I can't come on to that disappointed really. You know, they're a good side, very, very frustrating to watch. The amount they try and break up play and just use really dull gamesmanship. It's, you know, they're probably too good for that, and they're certainly too good to be doing that against like Everton. I can understand if they're playing a team that's chancing for the title for and stuff, but yeah, it was a nice sunny day at Goodison. That's one thing. I'll come on to this later. But walking out of Goodison at the end there with the sun shining and thinking, could be the last time we have this. That really hit me. But yeah, no complaints about the game really, apart from perhaps Jack Harrison, who seems to be somehow getting worse with each passing game, but he did win the penalty. Yeah. Just as we kicked off with some sartorial talk there about a fella who walked past us in a pair of, what do you say, Keith, blue suede brothel creepers?
They were brothel creepers, the very definition.
I just want to talk about the touchline attire. I do like the right. So
is this going to become a theme now? Because we had Amaran's jeans, didn't we?
This isn't quite so controversial, but Arteta is your classic LinkedIn quarter zip type fella, isn't he? Mm-hmm. David Moyes leads into the full zip cardigan, and I like him all the more for that. Yeah. So I think it's a much better option.
Cardigan Moyes is a whole mood, isn't it? Like, he's come back. The Moyes of old was like this screaming, snarling firebrand. Now he's this like sassy granddad who just he's just having a lovely time. He can be a little bit snarky if he's tired, if he's not had his afternoon nap, but he's having a great time. And you have to say, like, it's got results with the football club. I mean, my main overriding emotion from today is we were competitive, and if you look at it, we've played first and second, albeit a very distant second, in the last 4 days, and should have taken something from both.
Yeah.
Would we have seen that 3 months ago, 4 months ago? Absolutely not a prayer. So he's obviously done something with them. He's got them working. There seems to be like a bit of effort about them. I think the pressing, certainly first half, was really good. Got the crowd on side as well. It fell off a little bit second half. I think the three behind the strikers dropped a little bit deeper, and we lost that element second half. But overall, I think, it's a very positive thing he's brought to the club since he's come in, and I'm all for it. So, like, keep wearing them cardigans, Dave. I mean, I don't know how he's wore one today, because it was a toasty one, wasn't it? I mean, we say that it's got like to a high of 17 degrees today, but we are basking. There are three members of the group in shorts. Some of us in short sleeves. Jack's in jeans and a jumper because he never managed to get home last night.
Taking a halt,
he's still not been to bed. To be 19 again. I'm in a very sedate, happy, Everton are all right and they're not ruining my life mood.
It's really hard to build on that, to be honest. I do agree. It's very, very hard to criticise too much when we've just enjoyed Goodison, bathed in sunshine, coming back here to my favourite watering hole to have a pint with you lot and talk shite about Everton. It's all good. The game itself was very poor and very bitty, because I can't imagine the ball was in play for more than 30 seconds at a time, which was disappointing. I did enjoy sassy Grandad Moyes today. I enjoyed how much he was told off by the fourth official for creeping out of his technical area to give instructions, and every single time he did the same, sorry about that, little couple of steps back, and then he'd come and do it again. I really enjoyed that. I think we all had a good time. But it's nice that we can come out and have a few gripes and moans about the fact we've drawn against second in the league, when, it's not that long ago we couldn't buy a point against anybody, and drawing against Arsenal felt like an absolute miracle. So overall, an okay performance, worthy of the firmly mid-table side that we now are, which hopefully won't be the standard going forward, but right now is a very lovely place to be.
Has that pushed us any higher in the little mid-table mediocrity group of us United, Spurs and West Ham?
We are above Spurs.
Have that, Tottenham.
Who have they got this weekend?
I've no idea.
Do we think of Tottenham?
I'm sure Big Ange will make an absolute meal of it, as he does with everything several times a day.
Eliminating the eye was good, wasn't he? It's just good. Obviously, he came on Wednesday, and I kind of felt like that was with a view to getting him ready for today, really, and just sort of getting some proper footy back into his legs. And I think he already took him a bit of time to get into the game today, but there's one nice turn on the half an hour mark, and then just like those little moments where you think he's going to lose the ball here and he wriggles out of it. Obviously takes the penalty great, and I don't think that's much of a surprise that when he went off with cramp, hopefully it is cramp and not like any kind of re-aggravation, that Everton just kind of ceased to exist as an attacking force. Felt him carrying the ball, getting free kicks, but if we can get a few more like him through the door in the sum of £15 million for a player who is as fun and productive and as much of a scrapper as he is, then we won't go far wrong.
Oh no, definitely. He sort of, I think, we've clearly missed that in the few weeks he's been out. But yeah, as you say, it took a little while to get into the game, but once he did, they started then doubling and trebling up on him. So it's the fact that it's not just that he's a box of tricks and he can wriggle out of those situations. He just takes so much attention from their players, and that's massive because it opens up holes all over the pitch then. The only problem we've got then is though we've got Beto, Decore and Jack Harrison sort of next to him, so even if the space does open up, it's very rarely going to come to anything. But yeah, like you say, if we can sort of build on that, get more players in like him. I was surprised to see Alcaraz come on, because does that mean we've got to buy him yet, or is it one more game?
I think it starts as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's a start. Okay. I was going to be subbed until the end of the season.
He's going to get 10 minutes a week.
100%. But yeah, I'd like to see more of Alcaraz as well. Have a bit more dynamism up front with the two of them playing together. But
I think it was reasonable that he was on the bench today, because I think he's probably a bit tired from midweek. But certainly, like you're saying, with Giant and with Alcaraz, once he's come in, we're seeing like a really large disparity now between the players that are clearly good enough to take us forwards and the players who clearly aren't. And obviously that's just a result of us buying whoever the hell we could over the last few years, and maybe holding on to some players for too long, like Doucouré probably. So I think the last two games, I think Liverpool and Arsenal, have given us a really good idea of who we want to build the team around and who we need to start sort of shearing off. And to be honest, I would say Tarkowski's one of the players in the out tray.
Yeah,
personally.
absolutely. Just very quickly want to touch on silky footwork, as Les has brought up on there. Nathan Patterson, what was that, by the way? His little rampaging run down the left, cut in, cut out, did a little shimmy, played a little through ball.
Keith's nephew's back.
Yeah, honestly, David Moyes is going to love him if he ever gets fit.
Yeah,
I think if he ever actually gets fit and gets a run, I think he will love him he's a very Moyes type fullback. He's not really shown what he can do with Everton so far. I know a lot of people have given up on him. I've got that whole sort of Scottish bias where I can't quite give up on him yet, so I've got to stick by him until the minute he leaves, and then I can call him shite. But
still believe in Stephen Naismith.
Whoa, that's a different story. That's a very different story. Like Ed's touched on there, Tarkowski is an issue. And
what was it in particular today that you thought was so bad? Because I thought he was fine today.
The goal.
Yeah.
Initially the goal comes from, one, a lack of communication in midfield between Idrissa Gueye and Branthwaite. In that situation, Branthwaite coming onto the ball should be making that his. He should make it clear it's his ball. He should go through it, take everything in his path and head it 20 yards further into Arsenal's half. There's no situation there where Idrissa Gueye should be trying to head that ball. But I can only assume he's not had a shout, so he's decided maybe there's a bit of hesitation from Branthwaite, I don't know. After that though, after the ball breaks, they're still 10 yards inside their own half. Tarkowski's on the halfway line. He turns and sprints towards our box. At no point does he step out and try and make a challenge, waves his arm to try and get O'Brien to make a challenge. All the while he's just running back. He's run a good 40 yards, not even thought about playing the ball until they get to the edge of the box, and then he turns, and by the time he's turned, Trossard's shooting. Like, that is terrible centre-half play. It's against everything you're ever taught as a centre-half, as a kid, to keep backing off the ball like that. Especially at the distance he did it, because he gave, Sterling. Sterling gave Sterling 10 yards of space to keep running into. If you're going to back off someone, you should be no more than 3 or 4 yards from them, and at any time you could be able to throw a tackle in. He didn't do that, kept running away from them. I thought it was awful.
There's also a few minutes before Branthwaite bailed him out, when he got the wrong side as well. So there were signs, and in the second half,
5 minutes later, he got absolutely done for pace down the left, and then that foul he made in the second half when he come lunging out. So it's just the four examples.
I was going to stick up for him, but I'm not sure I'm going to now.
I was going to mention his air kick in the 6-yard box in the second half, which gave me heart palpitations. But we're starting to pile on a bit now, so the point is, not so great today.
The thing is, this is while Coleman's not playing, the captain of your football club. Is that an example for the rest of them to follow? No, not really.
Go on, sorry.
No, I'm just going to blame the goal on my dad, because it's not all Tarkowski's fault. As they're breaking, my dad says very loudly, "It's 4-on-2. They're never going to score this."
It was 5-on-2.
Oh yeah, and they're never going to score this, and then sure enough they scored. So we got a lot of looks after that.
I also want to give a big shout out to the person who sits behind me in the lower Gladys Street who said, as Trossard of the ball, show him onto his left foot. And obviously,
maybe not. Yeah. He always scores against us, doesn't he?
Yeah. I will still stick for top. I think he obviously didn't have a great game today, but I think if you look at it overall, like, signing on a free transfer, has played every game for us in the league since then. I think that situation you're in, like, it's probably not great defending, but I think for a player like him who is not quick, who is not necessarily used to being in those one-on-one situations, it's a bit of a nightmare one. And I think players who are slow and don't really want to deal with tricky wings in that situation will just always back off. And I think O'Brien's been great recently, but he's miles away from Trossard as well. I think maybe in his head it's that, Like, it wasn't in the head of the lad behind me, but I think it's in his head. It's like he can go either side here, and he just doesn't do either. He doesn't show him onto his right or his left. He just says you can have a shot there.
Yeah, I think a big thing today was because they don't necessarily play with the centre forward, so they've got a very fluid front line. I think it probably did muddle our defenders up a bit, because they are all very, especially like Tarkowski and the centre back. I'll mark the centre forward. You know, right back marks the left winger, all that. So I think the fact that they were quite fluid up front, I think that caused us a lot of problems. But as you say, overall, you know, we've, like you said, we've competed with a team who are a very distant second, but second nonetheless. So, and I think that's all we can ask for from this team, isn't it? Considering the position we were in. A couple of other players, I thought Boonen was a bit disappointing today. He looked knackered after 10 minutes to me. And I think Garner coming on was the right thing to do. That save from Pickford as well.
Well,
which one? Because he had two. He had
the
one from Trossard where he got pulled back for a free kick after the referee let them play on to take the shot first. If they'd scored, do you reckon he still gives that free kick?
Was that? I mean, it was like totally the other end for me. Was it definitely a foul?
Massive. He's all over his back. If that goes in, if that flies in top corner, does he pull that back? That's my question.
Yes, he does. He does.
Does he though?
It was clear. I don't understand why he doesn't give it straight away. It was pretty nailed on.
He was that bad. He was that bad though today. That referee.
Weird.
I wouldn't have trusted him to actually give that as a foul if they'd scored.
Does anyone know what O'Brien got booked for? Because I couldn't figure it out. The VAR thing came up and said
foul in the box at Park End, I think, from the free kick.
What did he do?
So someone was down. Was it Marino? Marino was down. Ben White.
Yeah.
Well, he was down in the box. And then O'Brien had gone over to take the throw in, hadn't he, to sheepishly move away. I think that was what it was for, yeah.
I mean, it was right in front of me. I didn't see anything happen at all. I was really confused.
They were at that all day.
Maybe there was a flying arm. I've got no idea.
In the box, in and around set pieces, the number of times one of them would collapse to the floor just before the ball was delivered as well.
There was a bit
and
in
the referee buys it every set. Like, that was a weak refereeing performance. They let them referee the game. There was another instance in the first half where they won a free kick in the exact same way that United did for Fernandez's goal.
Yep.
The first one, when he hit the ball into the wall and got the handball, they won a free kick in the exact same position from a tackle where the midfielder has clearly won the ball, got his foot on the ball, taken it away. Their player's gone round the outside of him and then thrown himself down. And the referee's not giving it until one of their players runs up to him asking for it, and then he stops playing, gives him a free kick. That is weak refereeing, and you see it every week, and it's something that really needs looking at. The quality of refereeing in the Premier League is, I mean, I haven't seen it at a lower point. I don't think there is a good referee in the league right now.
I think also they're using VAR as a crutch now, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's sort of
100%.
so that they're not giving decisions that maybe they would have done in the past, because they think, well, if I get it wrong, it's on me. If I miss it, VAR can mop it up. So yeah, it's all a bit annoying. And just on VAR checks, the VAR check for the penalty was mad. Why did they put us through that? He clearly got dragged down, didn't he? It's just.
I mean, I've not seen it back yet. So.
I haven't seen it back, but I mean, from where we were sat, it looked clear that Jack Harrison got dragged back.
So there's a lot of people saying it's not a penalty. I think that's as clear a penalty as you'll see all day long. Lewis Skelly's not even trying to play the ball at any point. All he's focused on is Harrison's run. By doing that, he gets caught out of position. He stumbles and falls, and when you see him fall, his body weight goes into Harrison's left leg, which brings him down. That is as clear a penalty as you'll get all day long. Yeah. I mean, the only reason I can think they checked that is to see if it was or in the box or not, because it was sort of around the edge. But I can't see how anyone can say that's not a penalty.
Yeah, I'm not being biased here, but it was assault and he should see jail time.
Yeah, can we have an inquiry into that challenge, please?
Inquiries.
Yeah, what was the follow through like? It looked bad.
Dominic King, we want your opinions on this matter.
The Blue Room investigates.
The penalty itself was lovely, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I love David Ray. David Ray.
David.
I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Big Dave Ray.
Yeah, Big Dave Ray. I loved his comical
Sounds like a
dive.
life fitter.
ray of light.
His comical, that was nice. His comical dive to the opposite direction, like he does at every single penalty, I think was nice. But yeah, lovely, coolly taken penalty. And yeah, it's good to see Denbigh back and scoring.
How many of us in the stands were saying he's missing this? He's missed it.
Yeah.
He's definitely missed.
Well, he usually does that like stuttery run up, doesn't he? Like he just didn't really do it for this one.
Oh, the way he's set up. So he set up, sort of stood with one foot to the side of the ball, over the top of the ball. And I thought he was going to do one of those daft little one step back and hit it things. And I thought, oh God, don't do that. Don't. I never understand professional footballers trying to get cute and clever with a penalty. Just 5 steps back, run up, foot through it as hard as you can and away from the middle of the goal.
I miss James Beattie's penalties.
You should score every
Run
time.
back, run in, twat it. Go on.
David Unsworth, he would just run in and he would
absolutely.
try and kill someone in the park end.
Yeah. I mean,
No, it's a great penalty.
it was a great penalty. But like, I realise we've gone round in like a massive circle here because I started off talking about how I wanted to talk about Njai and good things today, and everyone just moaned about about everything else. But like,
Welcome to Everton.
yeah, just to bring it back like full circle, like
First time.
the thing like I loved about Njai today as well. It was like there were a few times where like there was the one in the first half, like at the park end, where he had the ball, tried something, lost it, and then just came back around the outside and just mugged the defender off and won it back. There were a couple of times where he lost it again in the second half, and like there's one where he charged after. I thought you were going to stop the podcast for a second. There was one in the second half today where like he lost it and he just went his barge Declan Rice off the ball. Like Rice is like, he was crap today, but he's a big lad. But like, he's a coward. I just love that side of his game as well. Like, he's not just flair and flicks and wriggling out of situations and winning free kicks. Like he loves the battle and he loves to scrap as well.
He's a grafter, isn't he? He's a David Moyes grafter. His work rate off the ball as well is exceptional. Like he must cover so much ground on the pitch. The way, I mean, at times he was dropping too deep, but you like to see that effort from a forward player who wants to be on the ball. Like, how often have we seen an Everton winger or a centre midfielder that doesn't want the ball into the feet, even with a back to goal in their own half? He's always asking for the ball. He wants the ball into the feet. And he's really good as well at getting out of that situation. Like you were saying, like he can wriggle out of the most sort of close pressing attention, get himself that 5 yards of space, and 9 times out of 10 he will pick a very good pass. He will pick the right pass. I think he's very much a sort of player that we'll enjoy for the next few years.
Yeah, as you've alluded to there pretty well, Keith, one of the things as well as his tenacity is his confidence, and that's something. I mean, go back through all the post matches we had, especially in the last few years. How many times have we said our players lack confidence, our players don't want to take players on, our players don't look like they know what they're doing? And Jai, he might fail when he tries something, but he will always try something. He'll always try and wriggle out. He'll always try and beat his man. It's something we've been lacking for so long. And some of the situations today, I was laughing like a bloody hyena because he's got 4 players around him. There's a little swirl of limbs, and then he just emerges with the ball as if nothing had happened. It's incredible. It's like watching a cartoon. You know when you see the big puff of dust as things are going around, and he just walks out with the ball.
He's essentially the Tasmanian devil, isn't he? By the way, if you've never seen Ed laugh like a hyena, it's something that has to be witnessed at least once in a lifetime.
Yeah, I think, like you said there, the thing with him as well is if he does try something and he does lose the ball, he doesn't just like throw his arms in the air or just think, oh, it's gone. He goes and gets it back, and that's massive. He's very much the opposite of a luxury player, really, because he does try and win the ball back. I think before he got injured, he'd won the ball back more than anyone, apart from probably Garner, who again today was exceptional. But I think Dargan's got a stat on Ndiaye.
Second most defensive recoveries in the Premier League this season.
Really?
Still. He's averaging about 2.2 a game, I think, which is ridiculous because he's been out for 2 months, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's
If you look at him, you think there's a luxury player. Or if you don't watch Everton much, you go, there's a luxury player. Exactly. Socks down, flair player. Always all step overs, isn't he? But that work rate, we've said all sorts about Kev Delwell and etc. But he's left us with one hell of a player.
Another quarter's at Merchant, by the way.
Forget that. No credit for Kev. Sorry.
Can't wait to see his LinkedIn in the summer. He's hawking for jobs.
Just like the last thing on the eye as well. Like I think I've said on podcasts in the past. Like I feel sorry for like our younger fans when like when you're a kid, you want to get like someone's name on the back of your shirt, and you look at our squad and you're like, you're gonna get like. But like I imagine like next year, like when the new kid comes out, like as long as he stays in the summer, there's no indication he's gonna go. Like that will be the most popular shirt by a mile, wearing it with kids like under the age of 12. We want to get the best favourite player on the back of the shirt.
He's rescued the number 10.
Yeah,
I actually saw someone with a Broja shirt today, and I thought that's brave. That's really brave.
Oh, he was terrible when he came on. I thought
He was
the subs, I think, in general went.
Can you imagine walking down Goodison Road with 32 Gosling on your back? That's a cry for help to Child Protective Services.
I had a Tony Hibbert shirt, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah. I saw someone with a Rooney shirt today from like his first spell with the big shirt.
I saw that as well. Yeah, I saw him at Kirkdale.
Yeah, the retro shirts coming out. Just a few other things to finish off. Like you said, Idrissa Gueye was boss, wasn't he? Like I mean, does anyone else say other than just like get him signed now? Like
You've got to give him one more year.
Is this the best he's played for us, you think?
Yes, absolutely. I would. This is better than the spell he had before he went to PSG. I don't think there's anyone in the squad within a country mile of him in terms of player of the season for Everton. Even in the dark days when we were dreadful, didn't have a shot on goal for about 6 months, he was head and shoulders above the rest of the team. And it's a no-brainer for me. You give him a year, even on the wages that he's on. Even if next year he has a bit of a fall off, because he is 35, 36. He's probably not going to have that intensity, that same level next year, but he'll still have enough to be a very sort of crucial part of that midfield.
Yeah. The thing that struck me today about Gueye is how clever he is as well. He's got the intelligence to know when to leave the ball, when to shimmy or dummy, where the pass is.
On the halfway line was lovely, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. He sends, because he gets that extra second on the ball because he's got so much experience and so much knowledge that he's able to just take his time, let players dive in and make mistakes. And the energy, the way he chased down was incredible. I was going to ask, I need to know what he has for breakfast. But it was amazing during Ramadan too. I don't know how he does it in general. It's just incredible how much energy he's got.
Yeah, like I do think Les, like, his other parts of his game have come on, and like we noticed that in his second spell certainly. But like the thing that struck me today was like he was just running. It was like era one Idrissa Gueye, where he's just legging around after everything today.
Yeah, it was. It was like era one Idrissa Gueye, but with like the knowledge, like Ed said, and the sort of. Yeah, the all-round game of era 2. I think he's just come on and become like the most complete player he's been, certainly in his time at Everton. He's pretty much faultless, isn't he? I think, although again, like my dad when he dropped the clanger with the goal, I was talking to the fella next to me when he nearly gave away a penalty. We were both saying about Idrissa Gueye, going, he's going to be great, we've got to sign him on for another season. And then he just took a little swipe. I think he pulled out of it well. But if he'd have fallen through, it could have been a penalty to Arsenal there. But he was great.
There's another one on Tarkowski, number 5.
Oh God!
The one where he should have given away a penalty, but Trossard didn't go down and got his shot away on Pickford. If Trossard had gone down, it's a nailed-on penalty. So. There you go, 5 counts. Sorry, let's go back to positives. I
was going to just tie up some loose ends. Just things that happened that were like funny / annoying. Like Pickford's first ever kick.
Oh my God.
I mean, what was when he just spooned it? That was ridiculous.
Well, a whole new idea to the word two-footed.
Oh my God, yeah, that was mad. And just Arsenal in general, like. They're just such a weird. Let's talk about the drinks break. Like
yes, Arsenal thirstier than an Everton dad on Twitter.
I think they thought it was still Ramadan.
You're not topping that. I think the thing that amused me was. Sorry, we're going to have to take a technical break here because. That's the title of the show. Thirstier than an Everton down Twitter. Incredible. I was begging for Everton to take a drinks break after 48 minutes after the penalty, just as a matter of pettiness. One thing that really amused me was There was a time where David Raya caught Big Dave, Ray David came out, claimed a corner, and he went to kick it out, and Jake O'Brien, just being the colossal slab of meat that he is, stood in front of him and went, "Nah, you're all right, mate." And then Raya tried to kick it anyway, and O'Brien blocked it, and it sort of did a big spoon up in the air. And Arsenal got the ball back anyway, but after they lost it, they got so incensed that O'Brien had been allowed to do it. And O'Brien's just running about laughing in Irish.
Go on. No, I was just going to say, you haven't mentioned Branthwaite's interception from the counter-attack in the first half.
The tackle.
Absolutely fantastic. And I think the way that he reads, like you were saying, show him onto his left foot for the goal. He showed what he showed in the first half of the season. I know he's tailed off a little bit, and I'm just hoping he's not now, sort of impressing potential suitors. But this is the way it is, isn't it? I think we're on a production line of needing to get money in to bring more players in. So if he does, I don't want to be negative, but it benefits us in the long run, I think.
That's probably what saves Tarkowski this summer as well, is the fact that Branthwaite will more than likely go for PSR and future PSR and whatnot.
Just sell them yeah, exactly.
Apparently we can do that, right?
We're building hotels to sell them as well, though. You know that, don't you? That's what the dock's for. Clearly.
Let's build some student flats. It's Liverpool after all.
No money from that.
The Joe Anderson effect. On Branthwaite, can you imagine going into a 50-50 with Jared Branthwaite? It'd be like being chased by a hungry train. He's just massive. He's absolutely ludicrous, and when he hits those tackles where he takes ball, man, half the turf and one of the advertising boards, I'm all for it.
That's right in front of me where I see it, and just as he was sliding in, he was obviously going to win the ball, he was the favourite for it, and I was just thinking, just don't do what Tarkowski did on Wednesday. Please, we've had enough discourse about that moment and chat. We just don't need just win the ball hard, and that's it. That's fine. Don't really take them on.
I was going to say the Patterson one, is that when Patterson gets done for it, because it was a foul in the Bullens, and obviously Tarkowski goes over to the ref, and I was like, you are the last person who needs to be going over and speaking to the ref after Wednesday. And I'm sure if Ferguson was still coach, Tarkowski would have had another black eye, by the way, so he wouldn't have been playing today. But
there we go.
Good part. See you later.
Has anyone got anything more they want to add?
Just as a
Kevin Campbell thing was boss, wasn't it?
Incredible, and fair play to the Arsenal fans for getting involved as well.
They started it off after about 5
minutes. They were
nice.
Straight in. I'm like, shut up, wait for 9 minutes. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Did he wear number 5 for them or something? I didn't realise.
The Samuel Eto'o effect. I think just as a brief summary from me for today was, we could have won it. We didn't lose. Everton played in the sunshine, and I got an ice cream on the way back to the train station. This is and we are in no danger of getting relegated. I have prayed for days like these for 5 years. Absolute nothing games in spring.
Yeah.
And now we have them. Let's enjoy them. Let's embrace them. Let's go and lose as much money as we physically possibly can on a bunch of horses running around the track. And up the toffees.
There we go. There were people on the ground today by me who were talking about, if Ipswich win today and we get beat, it's only 12 points. So I was like, come on, let's not do that. These are days of leisure now. Let's enjoy them. So
days of leisure.
There we go. Cheers to everyone who got involved in that. Les, Keith, Ed and Paul. I don't know where he's gone. He was over there. We'll wrap it up. We'll have loads coming up this week. We'll have Blue Monday with Dave, Les and Roger, who gave very in-depth horse racing tips on last week. So it'd be interesting to see how they got on.
Yeah, he's got one of those voices a bit like Rob Vera, where he could definitely do an audiobook. his tipster voice is spot on.
Yeah. And we'll have Byline on Tuesday morning with myself and Paddy and all usual stuff throughout the week. Who do we play next weekend?
It's Chelsea.
It's not Chelsea.
Who cares?
Everton are playing next
We'll draw
weekend.
against any
Forest.
How you lads of leisure.
There we go. That's it. Everton will play a football match next weekend, and we will have reactions to that as well and build up throughout the week. Up the Toffees, enjoy your weekend. Speak to you soon.